you don't have to be a film expert to know Ryan Coogler is simply one of the best talents and best director voices we've got out there right now. I mean, I really first took notice of him a lot with his masterpiece film, Fruitvale Station. That was, I think, the beginning of his long and fruitful collaboration with Michael B. Jordan. And of course, he went on to make Black Panther, a film I absolutely loved and adored. Have to admit, I wasn't a big fan of the second one, but that film was made under near impossible circumstances. And so I give a pass to that completely. There's been some talk with Ryan Coogler lately about, is he going to be doing a Sinners sequel? Is all of his time going to be taken up now with this X-Files show? Well, according to himself, and this comes to us from Deadline, Ryan Coogler got his next movie lined up. And his next movie lined up is Black Panther 3. Deadline says the following: after riding the Mississippi Delta of vampires and a few Klansmen with Sinners, Ryan Coogler is ready to get back to Wakanda. While speaking on stage Saturday during the Sinners panel at Deadline's Contenders Film Los Angeles, the two-time Oscar nominee confirmed to Deadline's Mike Fleming Jr. that Black Panther 3 is his next movie. And it sounds like it might already be in progress, as he is hard at work completing the MCU trilogy that kicked off with Chadwick Boseman in 2018. If it was anybody but you, I would say I can neither confirm nor deny, teased Coogler, but we're working on it hard. Yeah, it's the next movie. We're working on it hard. Yeah, it's the next movie. All right. So this tells us a couple of things. One is that this is his next movie. Okay, so that's going to be coming before anything else. But the fact that he already added on, we're already working really hard on it, that tells me a couple things. Since he's already got it lined up as his next film, this is beyond the development stage. It's greenlit. He knows he's doing it. Two, he didn't just say he, but he says, we're working on it hard. That tells me that he's already got a team that's completely putting this together. It does not use the phrase in the story, Rob. We don't hear it say Black Panther 3 is in pre-production, but it sounds a hell of a lot to me like this movie's already kind of in the beginning stages of pre-production, and that this thing might be already a lot further along than we thought. If you had asked me 4 years ago if we would get a Black Panther 3 before a Blade, I would have said no, but these are the times that we're living in. But it sounds like we might be getting an announcement of a Black Panther 3 a lot sooner than we thought. Anyway, Rob, were you surprised to hear about this, and what do you think about it?
No, because Black Panther made over $1 billion and Wakanda Forever made over, I believe, $800 million. So it's a $2 billion franchise. So to not make a third one seems to be foolish. And I think that, Ryan Coogler, I think when you look at Wakanda Forever, I think I liked it more than you, but it was an impossible task. And it's a really interesting film. There's a lot of really good stuff in that. He's a great filmmaker. We forgot to mention Creed. Creed showed that
it's just wonderful.
He had to convince Sylvester Stallone to let him make a movie where Rocky was the secondary character. Not only did he deliver, and now there's 3 Creed movies, but he got Stallone an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, playing a character he'd played since the 70s. So I would say that Ryan Coogler deserves all the success he's received, and Sinners was a wonderful piece of work. I'd like to see him go make another original film, but you know what they say, one for them, one for me. And all he's doing is building up his street cred in Hollywood by making banger after banger. So more power to him. And I want to see Michael B. Jordan in an X-Files revival. I ain't going to lie. I think that would be pretty cool, depending on who they pair him with. So you go, Ryan Coogler, and I want Black Panther 3 to be great. It's going to be interesting to see, is it going to come out? I don't think it could come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars, so it would have to come out post Secret Wars, which also excites me because T'Challa can come back in a different incarnation, and canonically it will work. So I'm excited, dude. I want to see it.
I'm not so convinced that it can't come out somewhere between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I mean, listen, it all depends on how far along they already are when he says they're already working hard, because like you and I both know, if this thing goes into actually in front of cameras, if this thing goes into production, they start shooting this thing, say by May of 2026, this can be in theaters before the end of 2027.
Yeah, it could.
And that's not even, again, that all depends on how far along are they already in the pre-production stuff like that. But it's really not inconceivable. Of course, the bigger question for me, Rob, is, and will continue to be, who is Black Panther? because you can't keep moving forward with Shuri as Black Panther. I'm sorry. Coming out of the first Black Panther movie, Shuri and M'Baku both became top 5 favorite MCU characters of mine. I love them both. And one of the true strengths of the first Black Panther movie that just made my heart sing was the dynamic and the chemistry between the brother and sister of T'Challa and Shuri. Their dynamic, like, I still think nobody talks about it, but one of my favorite moments in that movie, Rob, it's like Black Panther comes into the lab and he says, "What are those?" And she's like, "No, the question is, what are those?" Talking about the shoes he was wearing on his feet. I don't know why. That kills me every time. And the way she played that character was to perfection. It was just such a brain fart, dumb move. But John, in the comic book, Shuri becomes like, I don't give a flying fuck what happened in the comics. And the screen iteration, it was a terrible idea to make Shuri the new Black Panther, to have the lab girl become the new Black Panther, when you had not Okoye, Lupita Nyong'o's character. Why am I freezing on the character's name? Lupita Nyong'o's character. Anyway, when you had her, and who is an international Nakia, an international warrior, who earlier in Black Panther 2 fought her way into Namor's kingdom, rescued the princess, fought her way out, is the betrothed of T'Challa, super warrior. Wow. We got a substitute herb. Who do you think should take it? Oh, I know, the lab girl. Anyway, I don't want to go off on that whole rant again. It was a terrible, terrible decision. So the big question for me is, who then is Black Panther? Is it T'Challa's son? Which I'm not down with that, to be honest with you. To me, the only answer is either T'Challa never really died and they just thought he was dead, or you're bringing you play the multiversal card and you bring in another version of T'Challa from another universe, which is totally valid and not something I would normally go for, but in the multiverse saga, it can work. So, or maybe something else. I don't know. All we know is that Denzel Washington is apparently going to be in it. That's a good thing. I don't think he's going to be T'Challa. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Guys, as the days start to get shorter and it starts getting dark before you've even had dinner, this time of year can feel a little heavier than usual. And something I've been trying to do lately is to reach out to people I haven't connected with in a while. Just last week, I messaged a buddy of mine that I haven't talked to in a while, and we just grabbed lunch. And afterwards, I found myself thinking, why didn't I do this sooner? This time of year isn't easy for everyone, and staying connected really does matter. We're better when we have community, when we have support, and when we make the effort to check in with the people we know and love, and check in with ourselves. And for a lot of people, reaching out for therapy is the same way. It can feel like a big first step, but once they do, they often say, why didn't I do this sooner? And BetterHelp can be that first step. BetterHelp's therapists follow a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. They'll also do the matching work for you. After a short questionnaire, they'll help connect you with someone who fits your needs, drawing on more than 12 years of experience. And if the match isn't quite right, you can switch therapists anytime. So this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's betterhelp.com/Campea. But anyway, Rob, right now, obviously we're pure spit in the air speculating here, Rob, but if you had to guess which direction Ryan Coogler's going to go with the next Black Panther and who it is, where would you guess right now would be the direction they're going to go?
Well, Shuri is in. She was part of Chairwatch, right?
Well, yeah. So I expect her to be in the movies.
Yeah, so
sure.
She's going to be in Doomsday and probably in Secret Wars. But I would imagine that there would have to be, like, I think the character Shuri has taken on that mantle, but I don't necessarily think she wants it. She's a scientist at heart, but she's doing her duty. So
and she was driven by rage, and by now I think she's healed.
Yes, and I could see her passing the torch back to a new Black Panther. And there's no reason why. I mean, whether it's T'Challa, it doesn't have to be T'Challa. It can be a new character who takes on the mantle of Black Panther that we haven't met before, that we're going to meet within the confines of the story itself. And I don't mind that. If you had like an actor like Damson Idris, you know, I loved him in F1. They've been bandying about his name. Or, like you said, you could use the multiverse. I mean, when Doom collapses the multiverse into Battle World, if they follow what happened in the Secret Wars and Hickman's Secret Wars story, it wouldn't be surprising that a version of a Black Panther shows up there. And, you know, if you made him in the thrall of Doom and he did something spectacular to escape Doom, and you made him heroic the same way they introduced T'Challa Boseman in Civil War, you make him earn the audience's love in a Secret Wars movie, and people are like, oh yeah, we want to see him back. That's how you do it.
So people asking in the live chat, wait, isn't Shuri also the queen of Wakanda? No, she's not. M'Baku is the king of Wakanda now. I mean, and so if that's another option, I guess M'Baku could just become the next Black Panther. He did, after all, come this close to beating T'Challa for the throne anyway. So I guess they could do that. I mean, I would prefer to see T'Challa come back just because T'Challa is such an important character. And so I would love to see that, but it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Ryan Coogler has confirmed that Black Panther 3 is indeed his next film, a film he's already working on. Who knows when that means they could actually start rolling cameras? It could be any time now. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.